Hey everybody, it's Stephen Osborne with Aftermatch Wrestling, and I'm sitting here after work watching my DVR replay of Raw, and I happened to notice that when Bray Wyatt came out, when they did their little cut scene in between, I don't know what to call it, it's where the weird black and white images go in between him saying that he's there and the music starting and him coming out. It had Randy Orton in it. A whole bunch. Just Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton in it. Actually, I think that particular one had Randy Orton in it more than it had Bray Wyatt. And I have to imagine that it's just somebody fucked up in the back and somehow used that clip instead of one that didn't have Randy Orton in it. But I thought it was extremely funny. For both reasons of Randy Orton, at the very least, isn't on Raw. like they have no ability to have affiliation unless they have a cross-brand, connection, but they don't even let Bray Wyatt have that cross-brand connection with either, well, I guess at this point, Luke Harper wouldn't be with it. He would be against it, but they don't let him have that connection with, what's his name? Oh, that's terrible. I should know the guy's name. Rowan. Eric Rowan. They don't let him have that connection with him. So, for one, they're on different brands. And for two, the last time they had anything to do with each other, they were fighting each other. And so, for them to bring back one that's that old from SmackDown, where Bray and Randy Orton are a team, I thought that was pretty funny. I haven't gotten anywhere past Bray Wyatt coming out to the crowd with the firefly lights going on, but yeah, I thought that was funny. I guess I could do a little review of Raw up until this point. I guess Roman Reigns isn't going to be there, which is cool. Everybody likes a break from certain people sometimes. And God help me, I love when SmackDown gets breaks from John Cena because he's off doing whatever show or movie or who knows. I guess it'll be a nice Raw, but I think the match with Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar that just happened, the whole thing with trying to put Alicia Fox on the phone through Skype or whatever they were doing, it just didn't work. It really didn't work. It was completely distracting. Supposed to be distracting to Noam Dar, of course, but completely distracting to the entire audience. The entire audience, both the crowd and at home, I'm sure. It was horribly done. They should have practiced that multiple times before actually going out there and trying to put her on the Big Tron and have her voice coming in and out. And it was the audio was horrible. The video was horrible. He didn't lean the phone up against the pole like I thought he would, the ring post, so she could see the match. He lays it down, and so the phone's staring directly into the lights, like nothing's going on. Oh, it's so terrible. I bet they even had everything that she said timed out, and she wasn't even live. I bet it wasn't even live. It was all fucking video. I don't know. It was just bad, really bad. Him trying to talk over her, and it's just. That fell apart. What happened before that? That's how bad it is. I don't even remember. The best part about Raw was how they opened up Raw with Brock Lesnar coming out and Samoa Joe coming out, and none of this we're saving the action for 4 weeks bullshit where guy gets up and he jumps on the ring apron and he goes like he's gonna get in the ring, but he doesn't get in the ring. He backs out and the crowd boos and everybody hates it. No, this is Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe gets in the ring, stares down Brock Lesnar, and headbutts him in the fucking, I don't know, the ear, the shoulder. I'm not sure where he was supposed to have gotten him, but headbutts him and goes after him. And that was real fun. The fact that they had to bring half the locker room out to break them apart and keep them apart was, and unsuccessfully a couple times, it's something that I only remember seeing with guys like Triple H or The Undertaker or much bigger name stock character-wise. Like, Samoa Joe has only been on the main brand for, what, less than a year. And everybody knows what he could do because everybody, you know, well, at least the people I talk to about wrestling, they have seen him in other venues, either be it TNA or Impact Wrestling or on NXT for, what, he was on NXT for a year or more, I think, before getting called up. So yeah, that was fun. But everything since that, I would say, is unmemorable. Hopefully, I'm really having high hopes for the 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team championships. I hope Cesaro and Sheamus actually, I hope they keep the titles, because I think the Hardys, if they do get the titles back, should do it at a pay-per-view. It shouldn't be done on a Raw. I don't feel that way, even if it is the main event and it's a 2 out of 3 falls match. I don't know, it feels like it should be bigger than that. It should be pay-per-view. And I guess the problem with that would be that if it's on a pay-per-view, there's no way it's going to be the main event. It won't be the last match. At least if it occurs on Raw, it is the main event, it is the last match. And it would set up for, I guess, the grudge match, the rubber match, the Sheamus and Cesaro getting their rematch from their rematch clause, whatever. It would continue the feud. I think that Sheamus and Cesaro need to keep the belts. They need to go on to a different feud, and Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy need to be free to break away from the title picture to get the broken Matt and Brother Nero gimmick going. However they're going to do it. I feel like, unless it happened and nobody's saying anything about it, where Vince McMahon or WWE either bought the rights to the Matt Hardy gimmick, or the broken Matt Hardy gimmick, to just to appease TNA or whoever owns TNA or is going to own TNA, or if they're leasing it from them, paying, you know, maybe by use or by time of use or whatever. However they're going to do it. If they are going to do it, I think it should be done away from the tag team picture. It needs to be something that puts them back into the tag team picture, or splits them up and lets them go solo for a while, for whatever you can get out of it. I would prefer to see them go broken together, puts them back in the title picture, and then they go back and they win the title one more time and keep them for a while. And then if you're gonna split them up, do it while they have the titles on them. Split them up then. Pick a good one and a bad one. Let it go for 3 matches, 3 full pay-per-views. I guess you would have whoever becomes the heel, and I would go probably the opposite way that they're going to go with it if they do break them up. Of course, Matt Hardy is the go-to heel in that team, because everybody wants to cheer for Jeff, because Jeff does all the crazy shit, and that's why he's always gotten the cheers over Matt. I would go different. I would turn Jeff heel. Give Matt Hardy the face run over his brother as the heel for 3 pay-per-views. 2 shit ones that are Raw only, and then like a WrestleMania or a Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, or SummerSlam, whatever it ends up being. And then have that rubber match be for the loser goes to SmackDown, and then separate them, and then see what happens, and then put Matt Hardy on Raw and Jeff Hardy on SmackDown. No, put Matt Hardy on SmackDown and Jeff Hardy on Raw. Matt Hardy on Raw would get lost in the shuffle. Matt Hardy on SmackDown would be able to flourish, and Jeff Hardy on Raw would not get lost in the shuffle. So, God, I'd love to see Jeff Hardy versus Finn Balor. That would be crazy. or Matt Hardy versus AJ Styles. Matt Hardy versus Jinder Mahal. Even, Matt Hardy is probably, to me, one of the most underrated wrestlers, all because, not necessarily to his discredit, but his brother, Jeff, he's so beloved because he's willing to risk his body in ways that I don't know if Matt can. Maybe he's injury prone, or he's got old injuries that he's not able to do the crazy shit that Jeff Hardy does. Or maybe he just doesn't want to. He wants to prolong his career. Either way, everybody always has this soft spot for Jeff. I have a soft spot for Matt because I always felt like Matt was the underdog and the under appreciated in the tag team. Anyway, that's a ramble, but I really have high hopes for that main event, if it indeed is the main event, the final match. I'm going to continue watching Raw, and maybe I'll get back with you. Bye.